Donegal are through to the next round of the Ulster Senior Football Championship. They have beaten Armagh by a scoreline of 116 to 12 points. Well, that was very comfortable indeed, wasn't it, for Donegal? I mean, literally, Armagh probably didn't really show much intensity really at all throughout that game, and it was very, very comfortable for Declan Bonner's men indeed. And look, Donegal far and away the better side. Absolutely make no mistake about it. Armagh really, really struggling with the kick out. Very, very much struggling with the kick out. I mean, the amount of times Donegal turned them over time and time again. And Armagh just never really, like in the first half, it was fairly even on either side were going at it. You were looking at either side thinking which one of these two is really going to kick into gear, which one of these two is going to take the game by the scruff of the neck. And it very much was Donegal, by far and away the better side. As I was saying before, Armagh very much struggling with that kick out. They were struggling to get the ball. They were conceding the short kick out for Donegal. So Donegal time and time again were allowed to, move out from the back, play through the lines. The likes of Ryan McHugh, Owen Van Gallagher on the ball. Really brilliant at just breaking out with the ball. And Armagh just couldn't really do anything to stop that sort of momentum, really. And look, for Donegal, they've obviously been criticised a little bit time to time in terms of the way that they play, the structure, all the rest. But fair play, they had a clear game plan coming into this one, and they executed perfectly. They were very, very well organised, very well set up. Very hard for players like Rian O'Neill to get on the ball. Rian O'Neill didn't score in this game at all, which very much tells you how difficult it was for him. Just looking at Armagh's forwards in general, like Rory Grugan with 5 points, the majority of them from place balls. Tiernan Kelly with a point, Conor Turbo with a point. Armagh just very, very much struggled to get the ball into their shooters, and that has to be credit to Donegal, who done a very, very good job. And I thought Brendan McCole, in particular, in a fullback, had an absolute stormer. He was very, very impressive from a Donegal perspective, and Rian O'Neill hardly had a sniff at all. You were even there was times watching that game and you were thinking, is he still suspended, or what's actually going on here? Because you were waiting for him to come alive, waiting for him to kick, to settle into the game, and it just never happened. It just didn't happen at all. Really, the big turning point really was in the for me, it was in the third quarter, I suppose you could say, just right after halftime. Up until that point, to be fair, like Donegal obviously had a 3 point lead at half time. You were thinking, right, Armagh need to do something here. They really need to show a bit more intensity. They need to take the game to Donegal, push up a bit more on Donegal's kickouts, and they started to do that. To be fair, started to turn the ball over a little bit more, started to dictate the game a little bit more. But even at that, in that sort of brief moment, they had nothing to show for it. And between the 19th minute and the 54th minute, Armagh kicked just 1 point, just 1 point in that time period right there. So, that goes to show how poor Armagh really were at times throughout this game, and really poor at just settling into it. They just didn't win enough ball at all. And it just, to be honest, you were watching this game and it just didn't really feel like championship. It just didn't really feel like Ulster Championship. It felt like a league game, the end of the league where nothing really matters. That was kind of what it felt like, because Armagh, just for me, didn't show nowhere near enough intensity that you'd normally see for the championship. I mean, they started to try go a lot more direct, and they started hitting a lot of long balls, obviously, towards the end of the game, obviously in need for a goal, but they were just poor, and even at times just sloppy wides and different things like that. Just the same level that we've seen from Armagh throughout the early stages of the league just wasn't there today. It just wasn't there at all. And have Armagh burned themselves out? Did they go too strong at the start of the league against both Dublin and Tyrone? Obviously 2 big wins. Their form towards the end of the league wasn't exactly perfect. So you would look at it and think, for Armagh, a lot of work now for them going into those qualifiers. And for Donegal, look, they control the game, they dictated the game. Michael Murphy, excellent as always, 6 points. But again, dropping deep, controlling possession. The thing about Michael Murphy is he's just so good at dictating the play, slowing the game down, hands on the ball, just really sort of, taking the sting out of a game. And he was very, very good at that one. Again, Paddy McBurty with 1-2 kicked a brilliant point to remember in the second half, and when Donegal were under a little bit of pressure, and that came at a big, big moment. But look, realistically, Donegal were just far too comfortable for Armagh. Armagh just never really looked, even you were going into the final 10 to 15 minutes. And although it was only a 4 to 5 point game, you were just thinking, what are Armagh going to do here realistically to get back into the game? And, they introduced Oisin O'Neill, Stephen Campbell as well, both kicked a point each, but just wasn't quite there. It just wasn't quite there from an Armagh perspective. Running through some of the scores then, Michael Murphy with 6 points, Paddy McBrearty with 1-2, Langan with 3 points, Shane O'Donnell with a point, Kieran Thompson with a point, Jason McGee and Owen Van Gallagher getting on the score sheet as well. Conor O'Donnell getting on there for Donegal. For Armagh, as I was saying before, a point for Conor Turba, 5 for Rory Grugan, who was the man really pulling the strings for Armagh in this one. Tiernan Kelly, Ben Creeley, Charlie O'Burns, and Greg McCabe, Oisin O'Neill, Stephen Campbell all getting on the score sheet there as well. So yeah, look, a disappointing one from an Armagh perspective. Be curious to know what some Armagh fans think in the comments down below. It's another Ulster Championship that's gone away. It's obviously they're not going to win Ulster this year. Well, obviously because they lost, so that's how it works. But yeah, they obviously didn't come through this game, so it's another one that's got away from Kieran McGeeney. And for all of Armagh's brilliant players that we know they have in Rian O'Neill, Conor Turba, Aidan Forker, when he's not getting up to carry on, very good, obviously, a fullback. They have a lot of very good players, but they just haven't been able to produce in the Ulster Championship. When's the last time they beat a big Ulster team in the Ulster Championship? When's the last time they beat a Donegal, a Monaghan, a Tyrone? Jesus, it's been a long time. 2008 since they were in an Ulster final, and that's going to stay that way. And for Donegal, I know the word experience gets thrown around more than well, we won't say that, but the word experience gets thrown around quite a lot, and sometimes it's a bit of an overused word. But it was definitely very evident there that Donegal navigated their way through that game, and they knew what they were doing. They very well knew what they were doing. And going up against Cavan in the Ulster semi-finals, look, if Cavan can play well enough, they might be able to keep the score down. But you would fancy Donegal to come through that one. Make no mistake about it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here anyway. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Stay tuned for the Mayo Galway match reaction, which will be out a little bit later. So I'll see you.